create, let's say for your podcast, you create a fan page, a business page for your podcast. It's almost like a website, but on Facebook. So any events or any shows you've got, you can put links to it. You can put your pictures up. You can turn it into a blog as well. I mean, there's a lot of potential there. So I don't know whether it's becoming more of a thing because they're updating it for some reason. But I keep hearing it time and time again. Facebook fan pages is going to be massive. So my content strategy is excuse me, YouTube Shorts, Facebook fan pages, TikTok, then Instagram in that order. I'm generating attention on everything as well as TikTok, but TikTok has really kicked off in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm still, those are my, in that order. That's where I'm putting out my content. So it's just whatever works.
I mean, I'm looking at it this way now. I don't see myself as just I'm not a podcaster anymore. I'm a content creator. So just because I'm not there podcasting every week, if I am putting out more stuff on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, whatever it may be, I'm creating some content to help the good of the people that listen. That's the way I'm looking at it. And I am actually, for the first time in my life, pleased in the direction it is going, because like I've said to you in the past, mate, I've always jumped from one thing to another and I've always considered that to be the bad thing to do. But now I know that it's not a bad thing to do. It's a good thing to do. Jumping around, learning your trade is a good thing. So, and I just feel that pressure is no longer on me anymore. You know, I'm feeling happy that I can come and go and do whatever I want, when I want, with who I want. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you've got three hook platforms. So you got your Reels on Instagram, your TikToks and YouTube Shorts. They're all hooks to funnel people into your what's the word I'm looking for? Who you are, which is, you can funnel people into your Facebook fan page or to your podcast or your website. So as long as you're educating and or entertaining on those three platforms in short form content, short, sharp educational bursts, then it's really a case of who's on those platforms. So your TikTok is obviously a younger audience who like to be, have got attention spans of goldfish, so you've got to be pretty sharp. Your Instagram Reels, slightly slower, you perhaps get a little bit longer. And then your long form content goes on Facebook, YouTube, and on your podcast. So that's the way I think about it. Is I call them hook platforms, and then where's your evergreen content, your long form content.
Yeah. I'm really excited about it all, to be honest with you, because I just don't feel that I have to be doing the same thing. I can just come and go and be who I want to be, and that's really, really good, and I'm really, really happy with that. And it's just it's quite, when you do this sort of stuff that we do, it's quite, how can I put it? Mind-blowing, isn't it? It's knowing what to do first. It's knowing what platform to go on. It's knowing, and in the past I've always been, I've got this to do, I've got that to do, I've got this to do, I've got that to do, where do I start? Whereas I wanted to bring this up tonight because for the first time ever, I'm just like, well, I'm starting and I'm doing it at my own pace. I'm just doing it how I want to do it, because there is no right and there is no wrong way. As long as you are there making some content, then you are doing something.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. We procrastinate and think about, I mean, it's always a good idea to have a strategy. What are you doing based on what you want? So for me, it's like, well, I want to build a media business. So what content am I putting out there in order to gain some attention to be able to, build a media business? Where's the best place for me to do that? Well, I need to be short and sharp with information. So that's TikTok. Documenting my journey, which, I mean, you could do it on TikTok, but not really. That's more of an Instagram thing for me. But yeah, like you say, we spend a lot of time, hoovering up the front room, fluffing up the pillows and taking a shot. And then, oh, no, that's no good. And then you change it. Look, stop fucking around. Document as opposed to create, as opposed to, what's the word I'm looking for? Spending time setting up a fucking, it's not a set. Do you know what I mean? You're not on EastEnders. You're not on a fucking movie set. Just get your camera up and record what you want to say. It's as simple as that. It doesn't matter how you look. Your hair's a mess. You haven't had a shave. It doesn't matter. If you're in your work clothes, don't matter. As long as you've got valuable content that you can educate and entertain, dude, you're gonna smash it all day long. And it's like, yeah, but I don't like TikTok. All right, well, don't do it then. It's not like you say. There's no right or wrong answer. Whatever you're comfortable with, just actually put stuff out. Each and every one of us should behave as if we are a media agency, because we are. You know, I think I've said this to you before. A record of achievement you get at school is supposed to be a representation of your capabilities. It's bullshit, in my opinion. A representation of your capabilities can be found on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Right? That's who we are. That's what we believe. That's how we conduct ourselves. So if you can update that live, and people can see that, you're going to get more attention doing what you want to do. You know, look, you look at this guy who has that camera on his head and he's talking about trains. He's documenting absolutely everything.
Yeah.
He's not creating content. He's documenting. There is a difference.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's doing what Gary Vee said to do as well, is that whenever you feel like you've got something to say, just say it. It doesn't matter how shit it'll be, you know, how crap you think it's going to be. Just keep on saying it. Leave it there. Let the whole world see it. And that how many times have we put something up and you think, oh, that's never going to take off. And next minute, you know, you've got 500 people that are watching. You're like, oh, fucking hell. And something that you think is going to be a huge success, you don't get anybody watch it at all.
Yeah, I've done a video answering a question that somebody left me on TikTok, and it's got 150,000 views. And the comments are ridiculous. I've got people asking me questions. I've got people DMing me, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. All because I answered a question. It's because I delivered value. I delivered ultimate value for somebody. And it's so relatable. It was somebody like saying, I'm 17. How the fuck do I know? How can I figure out what I want to do for the rest of my life? And I basically just answered it as authentically as I possibly could. And it kicked off.
Do you think that TikTok has got a broader variety of people using it? I mean, like you look at Facebook, I find that Facebook is the youngsters have disappeared now. It's primarily an elder range of people using it. Instagram is a place where generally people from about, I don't know, 16 up to about 30 use, whereas TikTok, well, and then Twitter is something where more politicians and more sports personalities use, whereas TikTok, everybody's using it. Everybody's posting something one way or another on there, and it just seems to be free for all on there.
Yeah, it's literally just supply and demand. That's all it is. That's where the demand is. The supply's catching up. I think within another 3 to 5 years, it's probably going to look a bit more like Instagram. It'll slow down. It'll be harder to get the reach, but it's where the attention is. You know, in 3 to 5 years, there's going to be another platform. In 10 years, perhaps TikTok won't exist at all. Who knows? So it's just a case of staying on the ball, staying relevant, and putting your message where people can hear it. Now I've got, I'm on other platforms like Be Real. There's another one called Placey. I've just got onto another platform called, let me find it quickly.
Grindr?
Which is Grindr, yeah. Breakout, which is a bit like Clubhouse.
Right.
And these are all new. So where's the attention going to be? Probably on these platforms in 3 to 5 years' time. So, you know, 2 of them might fail. One of them might kick off, and I'm one of the early adopters, and, you know, it kicks off. You know, Gary Vee was on YouTube a month after it launched, and everybody told him it was stupid. Now he's got one of the most viral, he creates the most viral content on the internet at the moment. It's crazy.
Right. Harmony's saying to share the link. So I am going to do that. Copy. Like it. I've not done this before. We'll try it. Bear with me. We're coming, Harmony. We're coming for you, baby. There, that should be it. Harmony should be joining us if we're successful in a minute. Yeah, I mean, I just find with like you say, with TikTok, it's not new, but you know, people are jumping on board with it. And what have you got to lose? All of these new, you know, these new social media platforms. You know, get on board, get involved, have a play.
Just have fun. Just have fun. Put out content, deliver value, have fun. Don't like it? Move on. No big deal.
We all disappeared, Harmony. I don't know what went on. We had a technical error, and I'm just not sure what happened. We just all disappeared, but we're back. It's one by one, we're coming back.
Oh, good. Well, because all I did was X out of my Chrome. I didn't mash the end broadcast button or anything. I thought, what in the hell happened? Tried to get back in, nobody's there.
Disappeared. We all disappeared, so we had to start up a new broadcast. But me and Lee have just been talking there about TikTok and the people that's using TikTok. How we've been talking about how amazing platform it is, because it seems to be everybody's using it. Did you want to say something there, Howard?
First of all, I'm the host. This one, sir.
All right, go on.
No, I'm bugging with you.
Is that why it's such a shit?
This is Texas Marc here. Howard. Howard, you go ahead. Go you ahead. Oh yes, thank you, Texas Marc. One thing you were talking about TikTok, and this is what I was going to say before StreamYard decided, or YouTube decided to ban us, whatever what happened there, is that similar to what Harmony said, to start somewhere. You said you're talking to a lot of people on TikTok. Loads. Why not ask those people if they want to be on your podcast? Yeah, you've already created a relationship with them. Maybe this is something you already said and I didn't hear it. And then you can take those clips and then put those on TikTok saying, hey, I met this person on TikTok. And is promoting TikTok too.
Yeah. Well, that's what I don't know whether you was with us or whatnot, but I said there that in the past, the last couple of weeks, I felt a little bit guilty because I haven't been doing as many podcasts as what I would normally do. And I feel like I've been letting my listeners down, but I have been doing stuff behind the scenes. I have been talking to people on TikTok, and those people are new future content. I haven't come across those people before. And not only that, they're people with, people that I've been trying to attract on Instagram in the past, which haven't got back to me because their viewing figures are so high that have just joined TikTok where their viewing figures are low, that all of a sudden they're coming back and speaking to you. Do you know what I mean? So everybody's on this platform at a different stage, joining a different train, but in the end goal, going in the same direction, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So, but it's the first time ever that I feel that I'm just haven't got that pressure on me. I'm just enjoying jumping from here and there. And like you were saying there, Harmony, it doesn't matter what direction, as long as you're doing something, as long as you are there involved in doing something, that is the main thing, isn't it?
Yep. And it really is. I mean, not overthinking the strategy behind it.
No.
Because I mean, if you're somewhere where you feel comfortable creating, whether that's just what the particular app is easier or something like that, you're not going to be discouraged from showing up and creating content.
But it pans out that way in your life as well. It's not just social media. Like this evening, I was saying, right, I'm going to get back into me running. I must get back into me running. It's something I've been putting off. And then I just rolled over, sat up and done a 20-minute meditation, and then felt fucking great from it afterwards. And I haven't done a meditation in about a week now, but it's a case of at least you're doing something. Okay, I haven't been doing as much as what I want to do, but I've just been doing it a different way. You know what I mean? It's just
the question I want to get, I want to talk about down to the nitty gritty is we all have said at any given time, I really want to be doing more of this. I want to be doing less of that. I really wish I was doing more running. I wish I was doing more. Where do you think the disconnect is? And I'm not saying I have the answer. Where do you think the disconnect is as to why we day after day after day after day are like, I really need to be doing more of this and less of that. I really wish, oh my God, it's been a week since I ran. Oh my God, it's been 2 weeks since I ran. It's been 3 weeks. I haven't meditated in a month. I haven't done a podcast in 6 weeks. Where's the disconnect is what I would question each of you on. Where do you think the disconnect is? There's no right or wrong answer.
I just feel that, I don't really know. I find that a difficult one to answer. For me, I just feel that if I'm not doing something, I'm letting other people down. That's how so? I feel that if I'm not showing up in one way or another, I'm letting people down, because I believe in accountability. So if I step in front of the group and say, right, I need to go run in, I need to do this.
Well, that's where you need to change your frame of thinking, because
Yes.
that's not what this is about. This isn't about, we're here to support you, but at the end of the day, you're the hard part, the sucky part of the whole fucking thing is you're letting yourself down, because if you don't go fucking run, that doesn't affect any of us. If you don't go run, that only affects you. So, and we're going to give you grace. We're going to try and get to the bottom of it. We're going to try and figure out why you're not showing up. Why do you keep telling yourself you're going to fucking do something and not doing it? Since the beginning of this group, almost 3 years ago, everybody's been trying to start a workout routine. And me and Howard, we were already kind of doing it. So the three of you guys who've been trying to start it, you still haven't 3 years in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the bigger question is, what the fuck is keeping you from doing it? And your thought processes around you're letting us down. Well, we're not going to judge you. We're going to be like, well, what's wrong? We're going to want to help you get to the root of the problem and like try to figure out mentally what is happening in your brain. That is where you're saying, I really, really want to do X, Y, and Z. And then you're starting and stopping over and over and over again. Why? That's what I'm saying is, why is that?
Because I've always been like that. I've always started and stopped things.
And do you know why? Do you know why you do that?
Because I think, no, I don't really know why.
This is my theory on that, because you know I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, go on.
If you don't feel like there's any real value that's going to come from what it is you're trying to start and keep and maintain and sustain over a period of your lifetime, if you don't see the value in it for not only today, but 6 months, 6 years down the road, 60 years down the road, you're not going to keep fucking doing it. So if you don't see the true value in eating healthier food, not drinking a bunch of fucking soda, not whatever it is, obviously you see the value from sustaining a vegetarian meal because you haven't meat. You obviously see the value in not drinking alcohol because you've been doing that for a long time.
Yep.
There's something about the wellness routine, and it might not just be one thing, that you don't really feel like there's some part of you in your brain, even if it's in your subconscious, is saying, what's the fucking point? What's the point? Because I promise you, if Nikki broke up with you tomorrow and she was like, good riddance, see you later, go find some other broad, you'd be at the fucking gym every day probably, because there would be some end goal, which is, I need to look good, I need to feel good, I need to, I need to show up in the world better, more confident, standing more tall. Your driving force is going to be, I'm single again and I'm back on the market. No,
because I have never been like that. Even when a relationship split up, I never went to the gym. I never done the.
Well, it might not be specific to that, but I'm saying there's a value in it now at this point. Like, so what's the difference between running and exercise in general? It doesn't have to be running necessarily, because I know you have ankle problems and stuff, but what's the difference between that and the eating and the drinking?
I don't know. I find that difficult to answer. I can't sit here and answer it straight away. I would say that I feel that a lot of the time it's a fashionable thing, perhaps, so we've all started up things like a podcast or this or that, and you start it because other people have started it. Like I played golf because everybody was playing golf, and then you turn the telly on and it's Wimbledon season, everybody's playing tennis, and then you decide to go out and play. So I've been one of those fish following. I've always been one of those sort of people that have tried things and carried on things, not liked it, stopped it, but feel like if I don't, if I spend £1,000 on a set of golf clubs and I'm all showing everybody that I'm playing golf, then I stop, then I feel like, oh, now I look a dick because I've spent all of that money.
So now you've found the pattern. Just in this last 10 minutes of our conversation, you've said out loud what the problem is. And the problem is you're doing shit for other people, not for yourself.
Yes.
Period.
And I've always been like that, Harmony.
That's now the biggest question is, how do you remedy that?
Yeah. So now I've got to start. Now I'm in a situation where I'm doing stuff for myself, and working out the stuff that I'm doing for myself. And I'm not going to be able to perfect it overnight. There's things that I've said that I'm going to do that I am going to drop out of. But like you say, there's things that I have done that I have stuck at. And it's getting it into my head and working out, okay, well, why do I stick at that and that and that, and I don't stick at that and that?
I mean, we can all ask ourselves. I can tell you, things that I've not stuck at and things that I've stuck at to this point. And it probably is, I would say, my intention behind it. Am I doing it for myself? Am I doing it for somebody else?
Yeah. I mean, little things like my wild camping. I haven't done that for a while because it's just as easy as packing your bag and going one night. I'm still got all my stuff. I still enjoy doing it, and I still will do it. But it's just sometimes little things like that aren't quite as easy as just going out for a run. You have to plan things. My snorkeling, that's going to come to a stage soon where the summertime's going to die off and it's going to be winter, and I'm not going to be obviously going out in freezing cold water snorkeling. So then something else will happen, and that's the way I've been looking at it. Like, I haven't done as much running, and I am wanting to do that because I've set myself a challenge, and I am going to do that. So in the next few months, when I'm not snorkeling and down the caravan, then I will be out running. It's doing the exercise. I'm still doing the exercise, but it's just me. It's just me, and it's one thing that I have always struggled with, and it's going to be hard to break that system for me.
Yeah.
Can I just say, as much as we have these conversations, and Harmony said this before, and I guess I could, who the fuck am I to talk, right? But I don't know what your outcome is. I don't know what your goal is. What are you trying to achieve? What is it you ultimately are working towards?
Well, this is what I was talking about the other week, saying about going back to the who and the why thing. And my thing that I've always enjoyed doing, right, is socializing, talking to people, and finding people's stories. And I know it sounds silly, like going down to the pub and just talking to people, but I really, really do enjoy having conversations with people, whether it was on the CB radio, whether it was doing ham radio, or whether it was talking on a radio show or a podcast. That is what I love doing in life. So
what does that translate into?
So my end goal is I want to do something down that field where I can just carry on talking and getting excitement and just basically hearing people's stories. And if I can help people, like, with mental health issues that need people to talk to, and go out on the streets and talk to people, just continue communicating and building a community. And I haven't found out what that end thing is yet. But, if I could get a group of 4 guys out in a field with a tent, sitting around a fire on one afternoon, recording a podcast and just chewing the fat and making them feel better about themselves so they don't want to jump off a cliff, then I feel that is something that I've achieved in my life. And I feel that I do that every day anyway, whether it be delivering on my post round, talking to an old lady or an old man or somebody that's feeling shit about themselves. I do that every day anyway. And I've just realized that life isn't all about money. There's little things that you do in life every day that make people happy, that make you happy. And that's what makes me happy, is chatting to people and conversing with people. So that's what I could say to that, if that helps.
I get it, but it's still very grey, very scatty. So I think that needs to be refined. I don't know if anybody else in the group agrees with that, but if I said the same to Howard, it would be like, yeah, I want to have a supplement company that's really successful that I can ship all over the United States. If I say that to Rodney, and I'm just presuming, I'd get an answer that's centered around real estate. And the same with Harmony. It would be around coaching and the wellness and all that sort of stuff. So for me, that still seems very grey. I still don't know what that really translates into. So maybe that's something you need to figure out.
But what happens if you're that sort of person in your life that doesn't want to have a business or do stuff like that? I just feel that it's very, very difficult for me to say. And I know that I should be trying to get it across better, but my end goal is to chat to as many people as I possibly can. And to me, I see that it's not all about making money from it. If I can be chatting to people and if I can record 1 million podcasts that will inspire 1 million people, or create 1 million pieces of content, it doesn't have to be about making money or having an end goal, does it?
No, but I think you're misconstruing the point I'm trying to make. You have a purpose. Each and every one of us has a purpose on this planet. Your purpose is to talk to people, but why? I'm not saying you need to start a business or have 1 million followers on Instagram, but what is your purpose? What are
I
you
don't.
trying to achieve?
It's difficult to explain. I feel really happy and really good about myself when I'm talking to people. So for me to give a why for that feeling, I don't know. I feel really relaxed, really chilled, very open when I'm talking to strangers about loads and loads of topics that I haven't got a clue on about. It's a bit like picking up a book that I've never read before. Go into a library, picking up a book that I've never read before. If I speak to a person down the street and I walk up to him with a microphone and say, "There you are. Have you ever listened to a podcast before?" No. Do you want to do one? Well, I've got nothing to say. Well, let me judge that. And it's like opening up that book and reading the chapter with that person and being educated every single day on that's how I feel. So it's hard to get that across when I just enjoy being myself. I feel fully myself, like a vicar when he stands up in a church and he gives his sermon. That's how I feel. So just talking to people, podcasting, content creation, that's when I feel my happiest and at my best. And a lot of people don't understand that, but that's the easiest way of me explaining it.
I understand what you're saying.
Mhm.
There's this quote from Pulp Fiction, where he said,
"I'll execute every last motherfucking one of you." Is it that one?
Mark,
That's what Mark
is
wants to
Mark
do.
seen that? That's I guess that's
I've not.
No. Well, the quote is that I'm just gonna walk the earth, like Caine and Kung Fu, walk from place to place, meet people, and get in adventures. And that's pretty much it. There's no real end to that. You just want to be and you want to communicate with people. You love to connect with people, whatever the story is. It's not like even with your interview, you've created like, I'm only going to interview people who do this. And I'm only going to talk to people. No, you talk to whoever it is. That's the beauty of somebody who just wants to connect with people. You don't judge people. You don't look at people with the side eye because they're doing something different. You keep your mind open and you want to meet people. I think, as a goal, I guess you can't really talk to every last person on earth, but I think I don't see anything wrong with that. Just being, what it is. And you don't necessarily have to. There are people who just wander for the rest of their life and they're okay with that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to pigeonhole you into a place where you need a specific goal, just because I may have some. But at the end of the day, like, I love that idea of just, existing and, being in a good place with yourself and not really worrying about, what the world says you should be doing.
Yeah. I mean, when I was younger, everybody used to say to me, because I always used to be the one that made people laugh. And people would say to me, "Oh, you'd be great on the radio. You'll be great as a stand-up, comedian." And it's just like, why do you have to go on the radio? Why do you have to be a stand-up comedian to make people laugh? I make people laugh everywhere I go, every day. And I feel my happiest when prime example, on Sunday when I was on a boat with 12 people, I made everybody laugh by saying something stupid. You know what I'm like. We was talking. The woman goes, "Oh, there we are. There's a whale," and I just said a dad thing like, "That's not Wales. That's Bude." And Nikki just jabbed me in the shoulder. She's, "Why are you being so stupid?" And everybody laughed, right? Everybody, that's what makes me feel great and feel funny. That's what makes me feel myself and my happiest is when I am making other people happy and they're laughing along with me or laughing at me. I don't really give a fuck.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
This may be really misplaced, and I apologize if I offend you. Are you seeking validation from other people, Mark?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Good.
What do you mean? Break it to me a bit more.
I mean, you're a funny guy. We all love you to pieces. Don't get me wrong, but the way you're communicating on here at the moment comes across as you love to serve other people and make them feel good, but is that really serving you as well?
Yeah, because when, like I say, when I make other people feel good and I see the smile in their face, it makes me feel good. So is that validating other people? Because it's almost it's making other people laugh is making me feel good.
Mm.
See where I'm coming from? So it's almost
I
like
do,
you've
I do,
scratched
but
my
if
back, I scratch yours.
if anybody has a comment on that, I suppose it would be Harmony. I'm just fishing here.
I do. And I see where you're coming from, Lee. And my question that I had swirling in my head before you asked that was why does it make you feel good to make other people laugh and feel good? Again, no right or wrong answers. Just what do you think there is about that when you make other people laugh? Why do you think you like it so much?
I think it kind of goes right back to when I was in primary school, when I was the underachiever, when I was the guy, you know, we've all heard it before, you know, the lad in the corner of the class that, you know, he felt good when he made other people laugh. And you've heard comedians say that, you know, they used to get bullied in school, and the one way that they wouldn't get bullied is by making the bullies laugh. Well, I was never really bullied in school, but that was my way of communicating and being in the group and being part of the pack animal. Was if I made that person laugh, then, you know, I fitted in with others. Perhaps it stems from that. I don't know, but I just really enjoy going out there and just having fun with people and making people laugh. That's just the way I've always been. And my dad was pretty much the same as well, to be honest. He was that sort of person. So whether it's been something that I've picked up from him in the past, I don't know. But if I feel that I'm not liked, you know, it makes me a little bit sad. That's another way of perhaps.
I bet that there's a lot of gold nuggets in getting to the root of that.
Yeah.
There probably really is. That would benefit you in so many ways, because I think we're all going to have a little piece of us until the day that we die that we want to feel accepted by others. That's just like the human condition, right? But I think when you can get to a point where politely you don't give a fuck what other people think about you, there's a freedom in that is like no other, because then you start gravitating towards things that you might not have gravitated towards when you were worried about what other people thought. And now, whether that's just your partner, your closest friends, your family, it doesn't matter. But when you get to a point where you literally don't give a single fuck, because that's the only way you're going to get to the root of getting to know yourself, because you're never going to move through the world authentically, fully Marc, until you don't care what anybody else says about what you wear, how you operate, what you do with your free time, how you parent, you know, how you eat. You're not going to authentically feel yourself and feel comfortable in your own skin until you get to a point where you can just live your life for you and not for anybody else. And I'm sure the rest of you will agree.
Mm.
Yeah, and maybe that's why you've gone from fishing to tennis to, you know, cricket to golf and all the rest of it.
The thing is I've it's quite a complicated person, really, when you dive down deep. Because when Harmony was saying that, I have always been the person that hasn't given a fuck what people have said. When I was in school, I always wore what I wanted to wear. I was always different to everybody else. I wore clothes that I liked. I listened to the music that I liked that was different. I done stuff that I liked that was different. CB radio and all that. I've always been that person that I've always been the trendsetter and not the trend follower. But there's been other aspects in my life where I've wanted to be the trend follower and not the trend setter.
I mean, I think we all are complicated like that. And one of the things that you said, and I can relate to not necessarily the scenario, but a lot of the things that I do and the way I behave and how I perceive the world stems from my childhood, and not being able to protect, you know, people around me. So like now it's hard for me not to want to protect people that I love, regardless of what the situation is. No matter how how many times you say it to me, or how many things that you look at what I do and you question. And you know, my idea is that there's got to be a way where like I can protect everybody around me. That stuff, you know, comes from, like you said, from childhood, like when you're in the class, you know. So that is, you know, I know I'm not on the hot seat, but that's one of the hurdles that I have to get over with. And a lot of it seems like, usually when we dig down in these conversations, a lot of it seems like it comes from when things are experienced as kids. And I got a lot of that from you know, therapy and all the coaching that I've got, that I received over the last 2 years. And I've always said it's no shock that I've surrounded myself with people like you who are coaching, who are on a journey, who are, you know, like trying to find that intentional lane and you know, to travel down, to help, because those are the things that I need. So I mean, I just think like everybody's pretty much saying, you're trying all these things because you're trying to figure out who you actually are and what direction you want to go. And part of getting to what Harmony was talking about specifically is, you know, when you do get to that point, you know, you don't give a shit about what people are saying or how they feel about the things you do. Can you stay the course when you do get that pushback? And when you do, you know, see that it may be causing some conflict or some pain to your loved ones, it's about staying the course.
Well, I think that's leading on to something that I was thinking there just a minute ago. And whilst you lot were talking, I was thinking the one thing that I do struggle with the most in my life is working with other people. Right. So when I was doing radio broadcasts, and the reason why I gave it up was because people were telling me what to do, and I didn't like the way they were telling me what to do. And I felt that I could go a better route and do better things. And, you know, that's how I've struggled in the past with relationships. That's how I've struggled with family and stuff like that, and education, because people's telling me what to do. And I thrive best myself being the leader, being the person that takes the reins. So that's one thing that I do struggle with, is that, you know, not being in and that's why I've struggled as a parent, because I'm having to work with somebody else, you know. And when I'm working with somebody else, whether it be a relationship, being a dad, you know, you're having to work with somebody else, and that's when there's the clashes, you know. And sometimes I find it difficult to do that, if that makes any sense at all. And that's something that I am looking at, because go on, Lee.
How long would you say from being a leader to being a follower? How many years would you say that's been?
What clashing with people?
If I said to you, what year did you stop becoming a leader and change into becoming a follower? Could you tell me how long ago that was?
No, I can't, because I'm both. If I take something on, I have to be a leader, right? But there's certain things in my life where I've become a follower. So it's like a bit mixed matched, if you know what I mean. When I start something, when I get my hands on something, I take the reins and I manage the local football team, or I do this or I do that. But there's other things in life, like relationships, where you have to work together. There's things like being a parent where you have to work together. There's things where with work where you have to work together. Those are the things that I don't feel fully in control. And when I don't find I'm fully in control, then that's when I struggle.
What has been the last project that you've gone balls deep and took full on alpha control of?
Discovering myself. You know, trying to, so that I'm not doing the same thing continuously, time and time again, sitting down and working out. You know, if my life for 90 years is a project, I need to be in control of that project. I need to not be having other people telling me what to do. I need to be in charge of that project. And what I'm finding difficult is that there's parts of that project that's easy because I have got pull of the reins, and there's other parts of the project which are difficult where I am not completely in control. I've got to work with other people. And I work best when I am working by myself, but you can't always do that in life. And I find that's possibly what I am struggling and keep clashing with people and falling out with people, is because I honestly can put the hands in the air now. If I lived on a desert island by myself, I'd probably be the happiest person in the world.
Want to jump in real quick with
I
I just want to jump in real quick with a comment here from the chat, and then we can go move on.
Did you want to read that out there, Howard, seeing you're the chairperson?
Yes, this is Texas Mark here. My brother will always say you are the funniest man he ever knew whilst growing up. Or is it whilst? I don't know.
Whilst.
Oh, damn English. An individual ... I think that's all right, dots. Also, this is quite grueling, this hot seat. That's from Mr. Richard Thrift.
Good evening,
Thank you, Richard. Thank you very much. Then Texas Mark out. Yes, thank you, Texas Mark. This is Howard, regular Howard. I have a question though,
Go on.
because wait, I'm just gonna, because I want to get clarification. You said that you feel good about yourself when you're talking to other people.
Yeah.
But yet you said you would feel happy being on an island by yourself where you can't talk to other people.
I know.
Okay.
That's how confusing I'm finding it all. That's what I'm saying. So I could be on a desert island by myself, but I could still be talking to people all around the world.
It's that introverted extrovert, you know, I'm a loner. I'm a loner who loves to be around people, you know, type of thing. So
when I'm on a desert island by myself, I am in control of that whole island, right? I'm in control. Mm-hmm. When there's somebody else on that island,
President Mark.
When I'm on that island with somebody else, I'm only in control of, say, half of the island, right? So when that person chucks some dog shit over my fence, right, I want to give them a hiding. I mean, what I'm getting at is, you know, I can still be on a desert island and I can still be a leader, especially in this day and age. I mean, I was doing it when I was on amateur radio. I was talking to people all around the world from my garage, from my shack. So you can still be the leader by yourself, in talking to other people, in charge of yourself through communication.
I would say that, in my opinion, that I don't know everything about your life, but from outside looking in, I would say to answer Lee's question, I would say your podcast is the thing that you dove in and you got complete control over it, and you're very specific about what you wanted to do. And you know, you seem to me that goes along to what you're saying. Like, you know, you're interviewing people, but it's done in your style. You don't change up your style depending on who's on. You do what you're gonna do. Like you say, you're having a chat in the pub with some people, and then you had the control over when it was gonna come out. You know, how long it was gonna be, when it was gonna come out, and you get to edit it. So you know what I'm saying? You could take out what you want. I would say that's probably one of those things that you.
But there's a but there, right? I'm not fully in control, because I'm never fully in control, because it's not like I'm in a room with 40, 50 people, right? If I'm not in control of my social media, so I don't feel that I can get it out to the amount of people that I want to that can benefit from it, then I don't feel that I'm in full control. That's how I'm feeling at the moment, because I'm struggling with you know, trying to be the best, because I'm struggling with media and stuff like that. I feel that I'm not in full control because I'm not being as good as what I should be, and that then it's putting pressure on myself.
I was going to say, do you think it's because you know, Lee's a coach, you were coaching rugby, right?
Yeah.
And you can see, you watch the players, you know the best player, you know when there's more in the tank. And he does too. So Mark, you know the reason why. I think a lot of it when we feel a little bad about something is like, I know I didn't leave it all on the field. You know what I'm saying? I know that I cheated myself out of this effort, or I cheated my podcast out. I'm cheating my social media because I'm not giving it everything. We've gotten so many nuggets within Voxer, within our Skype calls. We've gotten so many nuggets. Have each and every one of us taken every bit of advice or every bit of instruction and use that fully, or have we taken a little bit and said, all right, we're wishy-washy? So I think it's just because you know that you have more to give, and that could be frustrating.
Yeah, that's 100%. I know that I could be the person that I truly want to be, being on the pedestal, being the vicar of a church, giving out all the gifts that I can be. But at this moment in time, I can't, because my platform is limiting me, because I'm not a master at that field of marketing. Whereas at the moment, if I'm trying different areas, then it's going to broaden. But at the same time, you can't be at every place at once. And that's the thing I think that's been continuously been going on for me. That's how I've been feeling for the last 4 or 5 years. And I've got to stop that.
Yeah. Being on different platforms is not going to broaden your reach. It's going to have an adverse effect. So if I said to you, you have to choose one platform, and that's the platform where you can serve the most people the most effectively. You can have any one of them, but you can only have one. Which one is it?
Well, it would be podcasting.
Right. So that's the one you need to focus on.
But then
you can put stuff out on TikTok and all the rest of it as and when you've got time and you feel like it. But you need to be laser focused on your podcast.
But you can't, because you need the other things, the marketing, the promotional work. It's all right when you're Joe Rogan, when you've got all of these people working for you, but when you're working by yourself, you have to show up on. I would love every single day if I could get up in the morning, every single day, record a podcast, bang, whack it out every single day, and have a team around me saying, right, we'll do the editing, we'll do the marketing, done. But at our level, you can't. So I can't just say that I'm going to record a podcast and launch it, because I have to go on all the social medias, and I have to go on there and I have to promote it.
You have to go on one social media.
Well, see, I think anybody would say that you've got to have all your hands in the pies to get out there.
But like you said yourself, you're not Joe Rogan. You're one man with two hands. You pick a platform.
I think there's something to be said about being on multiple platforms, but what we've talked about ultimately is, what's the consistency in that? Are you going to be able to manage being on LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the other ones? Are you going to be able to do that? I mean, we talk about Gary Vee a lot. Well, he's got a team that handles that. I think he approves it, but he's got a team making all this different content, and he goes over it. So, I think to Lee's question, if you had to pick one that you had the most reach on, I mean, if you knew that you could reach the most amount of people on, let's say, TikTok, let's say that's the biggest one, then okay, I could see where you do your podcast and then you promote it on TikTok. But which one you pick, it's an issue of just committing to it and being, we talked about consistency. I mean, I see Lee now all the time when I go to that little friends thing on TikTok. Lee, putting all the he being committed to it, not like, and this is not a jab on anybody, I'm guilty of it too, not like, well, you know what, oh man, I've had a horrible day, I didn't sleep that much, not today, or oh, you know what, oh my, I have a headache, I have a massive headache, I can't do it today. No. And this is, again, saying it as much to me as it is to anybody out here, you guys and everybody who's listening or watching, is you have to commit to it. You get put in half-ass effort, you get a half-ass result. And I dealt with that for over a decade with the supplement company. I put in a half-ass effort. That's why I had no product to sell. So,
but I mean, you've heard me say this before, and we'll have to call it a night here in a minute because it's going on a bit. But you've heard me say this before, that if you're doing something in life that you don't enjoy doing, don't fucking do it anymore. Find something else that you enjoy. I find for me, though, it's difficult for me for the simple fact that I enjoy communicating. I enjoy talking to people. So if I'm not doing it on Instagram, I'll be doing it on Twitter. If I'm not doing it on Twitter, I'll be doing it on, I'm a content creator. So the problem is when you've got a podcast, at the moment, I'm in a situation where since January, I've only put out 13 podcasts. Rodney will tell you one thing that he used to like about me is I used to do a podcast every single week. So we're talking about being consistent, right? I'm consistently being a content creator, talking to people over all the platforms, but I'm not consistently showing up in one area. And when you're a person that's a communicator, it's difficult. You won't get an inspirational speaker that will go to the same place every time and talk. They go all over different platforms to talk, don't they?
That's true, but there's also coaches and business mentors and real estate agents that have built a following just on TikTok. And I've been on there myself. Okay, they must be on Instagram. No, they're not. Well, they must have a YouTube. No, they haven't got a YouTube channel. They've picked one platform. They've niched and they've just gone fucking laser on it.
Mm. So perhaps it could be a thing like get to 1,000 followers on TikTok. Can you do a live on TikTok?
Yep.
For an hour? Is there a time limit on it?
Nope.
There isn't. Do an hour's session on TikTok, record it, put it out on a podcast.
Yep.
So you're using the platform of TikTok to grow your audience, but you're still putting out as a podcast as well.
Yep.
So then what do you do with YouTube?
Dissect what you've already recorded and put it up on YouTube.
Yeah, make shorts of it.
Yep.
YouTube shorts, or 5-minute segments from it, and make it just like a quote unquote long form video, which is really anything over a minute. I guess they consider long form. Yeah.
Sweet. Should we leave it there, guys?
Sure, why not?
Does the boss want to carry on, or are you happy to shut the shop down there? Howard?
This is you can see the background music. It's really good, very good music. This is Texas Marc, the Texan English bloke. No, I think we're good.
Chap.
We're good. Chap.
Harmony's phone ran out. She didn't cut us off this time. Her phone ran out, so she left quietly. So guys, thank you very much for helping me out there. It's a lot that I've learned from that. A lot that's wakes you up and stuff like that. Guys, thank you very much for leaving comments. Richard, nice to see you on here, mate. Very, very nice to see you again, and hopefully see you soon.
Rich, come back again, Rich.
Yeah, cool.
Don't be a stranger, man.
Don't be a stranger. Danger, stranger. Guys, thank you very much for watching us. Like and subscribe, all that bullshit. Come and find us on Instagram and all those platforms. Come and find us, Official 5 Deep. Stay safe, stay classy. See you next week. Oh, before we go, next week, Howard's in the hot seat. Take care, guys.